The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN, and get a $25 matching bonus deposit. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no voice, no guys, me, really raw, feeling raw, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Whoa, misfire. Hello. All right, Lonte, I don't have your little drop sound, man.
It's all good.
Wow, we gotta fix that. That's wild here. Like I'm real. I mean, we don't have a lot of drops on the board. That's crazy. I got to spend the day and just add sounds back to the board. But no, we're missing a latte sound. People don't know that it's going to be latte coming on to the show here. But we got to learn Latte Smith here. Latte, what's going on?
Not much, man. Doing good. Ready to roll. Let's get to it.
Yeah, I mean, what we got two more games. It feels like the second round is really start. I don't know. I mean, the second round is already more interesting with all the dogs, and you got what Cleveland Pacers. We'll see if that's going to be a series later tonight. We'll talk about Knicks Celtics, but what's like most surprising in this round? Like, what is the thing that's just like, oh wow, I never expected them to be at this point.
I would just have to say the Knicks, man. To be honest, just the way I handicapped the series and the way I thought it would go.
How did you
Yeah,
think it would go? I'm sorry, I wasn't here.
4-1. Knicks. I
Mm,
mean 4-1
mm.
Celtics. I'm sorry. Yeah, I
Oh,
thought. Yeah,
interesting. 4-1.
completely. Yeah, completely
Oh,
wrong
so not
there.
not so that's not valid anymore, is it? And interesting.
Nah, no way. No, not
Oh
even
wow,
close.
wow, wow,
Not even
wow,
close. But
wow.
yeah, but
Uh,
that's the most surprising. I think. I mean, Indy being up 2-0 is a little less surprising, being at the circumstances that it's under with the injury concerns, and then
mm-hmm.
the first game, okay, but the second game they blew it, and again they do have the excuse in the bag, but that would be the less surprising 2-0 start. But and then the Steph injury, so that is what it is. But yeah, I would say the Knicks, man, not really playing well, still up 2-0. I think that's pretty surprising.
Well, it's not surprising to some.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Not surprising to some. Some would say that they've said for years that the Celtics put themselves in these situations, and it just so happens that that person, whoever his name may be, whoever it is, favorite team is now proving that the Celtics do exactly what we say they do. And you I'm very interested to hear your take on the game tonight because
Oh yeah,
4-1 is out of the equation now. So
yes, out of it. Yeah.
I'm curious on what your new thought of the series is now that 4-1 is out of the equation. But I would say for me, because I'm not surprised of what the Celtics have going on at all whatsoever, it would still be how game one went for OKC. That is the most surprising thing. OKC completely folded that game in a team that I thought was very, very rock solid. And it reminded me that they do have some flaws in that. Honestly, when you look at all the teams left on the field, oh, the NBA championship is up for grabs. I think anybody. It could be anybody this year. There's something wrong with everybody right now, especially Cleveland with those injuries. But we're going to see how they look tonight. We haven't gotten to. If you're listening to this morning of Saturday, then we haven't seen the game yet. The game hasn't gone off. It goes off in about 19-ish minutes or so, something like that. So we're going to get to the two games that are actually being played here tonight. But first, the DGens line of gear is live in the merch stores. So to celebrate, we're taking 20% off everything. Everything. All you gotta do is use that promo code DGens. You can go in there and get you some NBA gambling podcast gear, get some WNBA gambling podcast gear. Shoot, go help Lonte out, get some MLB gambling podcast gear. You could do all of that. Hey, there's a whole bunch of world opportunities. There's a windbreaker in there that's really, really nice that I think people should get. So go lock in and get 20% off the SGPN merch store right now, store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com to get to that. And then promo code at DGens. The promo code is DGens. All right, Lonte. I'm so curious to hear your thoughts. The Boston Celtics are on the road going to play the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks are up in the series 2-1. 2-1.
Bing bang. Bing bang.
Just throwing that out there. Knicks are up 2-1 against the Boston Celtics.
No,
Celtics,
0.
I mean, not 2-1, 2-0. Yeah, 2-0.
Foreshadowing?
Yeah, could be. Definitely said 2-1. I don't know how that came out, but I completely said. I think I said it multiple times actually. 2-0. That's what I was trying to say. 2-0. Boston's now laying 5.5 in Game 3. 205.5 is the total. I mean, Lonte, how? Let's just go ahead and get around to it. How do the Boston Celtics win Game 3?
Well, they can't repeat the fourth quarter shenanigans they had in the
They could.
past two games. I mean, well, they definitely could, but they'll lose if they don't. I mean, if they do that. But I just feel like I don't know if it's just like mentally or what, but I mean, I don't really have a ton of confidence in them right now. I do think they'll win the game. I think the Knicks will cover. Um, I think it's a lot of pressure on the Knicks, man. That's a lot of pressure going from now you're being the hunted and you're not the hunter anymore. Now, granted, the Knicks haven't particularly played well and they still won, which is concerning if you're a Boston
Hmm,
Celtics fan,
interesting.
because I mean Brunson wasn't that good in Game 2. I mean, of course he was down the stretch, but OG's been solid, especially in defensively. Mikhail's been solid defensively. Mitchell Robinson's been really good defensively, but as a whole, they haven't really played a complete game of basketball, and that's saying a lot because I mean that's the reason why they were down 20. They played really good third and fourth quarters, and I think they'll string together a game here to make this a competitive game. Now, granted, I think Boston will win, but I think it'll be a 1 or 2 possession game late in the fourth quarter. And I think Boston may make a play or two that they didn't make in those first two games. But overall, man, I think the Knicks will cover that number. That's a big number for them to be laying. Um, I mean, the number is probably about right, but I just from what we know and the particulars of the Knicks not playing particularly well, hard for me to lay that type of number. And it's a disgrace that this game is not a night game. What's going on with that?
Yeah, this is a 3:30 game
Yeah,
on a
that's
Saturday.
that's disgusting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
what's up
is.
with that?
It
But
is
yeah, I
really
like
wild.
the Knicks plus the 5.5. I think Boston wins the game though.
Interesting. Interesting. So Boston 1-10 would be very interesting to you.
Yeah, can you do 1 to 5? I like that better.
Uh, wow, what a degen. What a degen for the
Yeah.
people. Said I gave him 1-10 option. He said, nope, give me 1-5. All right. Well, that's not as fun.
Yeah.
I would have loved for you to be on the Celtics all the way. I still think you're giving them a lot of credit saying they're going to win this game. I don't think it's 100% certain they win the game. If it's a close game in the fourth quarter, I'll tell you right now they're not winning the game because the Boston Celtics do not have Jalen fucking Brunson.
Bing bang.
They don't.
Sure.
And he's the best. He's the best fourth quarter player in the entire league.
That's true.
So how does Boston win it? If you think Boston wins this game, and this is just for if you think it, this is for the people because I'm not giving a take on the game. I'm officially, the announcers that have to cover the game so they can't like give their pick like on game day when Herb Street works the game that week. He doesn't give a pick to the game because he's working the game that week. I'm on duty right now. I have to stay solid here for my New York Knicks because I have not bet the game in either game. Either of the first two games, I haven't bet the game.
Hmm.
I haven't. And I will not. if the New York Knicks knock off the Boston Celtics, it would be more glorious than D-Day. Shout out to Red Foreman. And I would not need any amount of money. That would be solace enough to see them go home and to watch all the Boston Celtics tickets that people had go up in flames. With that being said, Knicks in 4.
There you go.
Knicks in 4. Totals at 205.5.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably go over, not gonna lie, because we talked about the Knicks having their success later in the games. I think they'll play better as a whole throughout the first. Obviously, the first half is key because they want to set a tone. They don't want to climb uphill for the third time in a row. So I think they'll come out ultra aggressive. I thought they played with a lot more pace, especially when Brunson was out of the game. They played with a lot more pace, a lot more spacing. If Mikal can knock down a few shots early on and kind of get in rhythm, I think he'll be a big part of that offense. If they got to run some stuff for Cat, man. I mean, Cat's been unsung hero in this specific in this
Last
specific
game
series.
in game 2 for sure.
Yeah, and I think they got to run a lot more stuff for him, especially if they're going to put Jason Tatum on him at certain times. You want to put him in the post, get some fouls on him, and maybe make them switch off of that. But yeah, I like the over. I think both teams will be able to score. I don't think Boston will have an issue scoring. The Knicks 3-point defense, it was atrocious in the regular season. Picked up a little bit throughout the first 2 rounds. And granted, the Detroit Pistons weren't that good of a 3-point team, but they did a good job on Malik Beasley per se. But yeah, I like the over. I think both teams will have their shot to get downhill, get in the paint. So yeah, I think both teams can get to 100 here. We can get 105, 103.
Why do we look like we in the same room?
Are we?
No, well, yeah. Are we? Yeah, you over there? Why do it look like we in the same room? Does it feel like is my wall darker? No, same color too. Oh,
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I don't know, Lonte. I tried to let you convince me there with that argument. You couldn't do it. I haven't seen this game. I mean, this is flown under for the series.
Yeah.
Because the first game you got overtime. This is flown unders.
Mhm.
Like not even close. And I mean, I think the only way it goes over is if Boston hits all their threes and they score a bunch of points. And now they're, back in the 115 plus range of scoring. But nothing has indicated that the scoring is just going to pick up from them out of nowhere. And honestly, I hope it doesn't. I just need them to shoot the ball bad for one more game. One more game. Shoot the ball horribly for one more game. And then we have 4 chances. 4 chances to close you out. I'm on the under. 205.5. Sorry. Can't do it.
That's cool.
All right. Before we move on, any play props or anything that sticks out for?
I like Cat. I like Cat points, rebounds, man. I think they're gonna. I think they're going to feature him a little bit more. Obviously, they did a little bit different defensive schemes. They're doing a lot more switching. Tibbs is not really a switchable. He doesn't play a switchable defense. He hasn't, like he never has. But he switched more here than anything. And I think that's helping Cat stay out of foul trouble because he's not like trying to bulldoze through screens or getting those ticky tack fouls here and there. So I expect Cat to have a big game. I mean, I'm talking like 28 and 15 type big. So I do like Cat points and rebounds.
All right. I am sticking with my guy Josh Hart and going over Josh Hart points and rebounds as well. A big game in game 2. He's always been consistent against the Celtics. I think he's now at some 9 of his last 10 against the Celtics. He's been good for this number or something to that attitude here. So I'm still on Josh Hart. I played it the first 2 games of the series. He went over 19.5 points and rebounds. He went over 20.5 points and rebounds. He flew over that in game 2. I'm going to take him again here. Whatever his points and rebounds line is, I'm going to be on Josh Hart to have another big game.
I like that. Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Circa's Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway. They are giving away an Ultimate Fantasy Football experience for a 12-team league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs. So the winner will receive a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for the entire 12-team league in 6 Double King rooms. Those rooms got to be big. Lonte, have you ever seen a Double King? I've never seen a Double King before.
My bad.
Uh,
At Circa?
no, just a period. I mean, well, I
Oh,
guess.
oh yeah. I stayed in one at Circa. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
you stay.
humongous.
Oh, yeah, it's a big room.
It's humongous.
Oh, dude, it's got to be. It's
It's
a
just
double.
like, yeah, it's humongous.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. No, I've never stayed at Double King before. I'm gonna have to do that. But
Yeah.
there you go. Lonte told you it's huge. That's how big of a Double King room is. All right. So you get that. You get 2 night stay at Circle Resort for your entire league. 6 Double King rooms. You get to hold your draft in a cabana at Stadium Swim, which is a beautiful location. Just letting you know, with a $5,000 food and beverage credit, you get limo transportation to and from the airport, a welcome party at Legacy Club for your league, a reservation at the world's largest sports book with $500 beverage credit, and a 2-hour open bar package at the Overhang Bar for your league. Contest is from now until June 30th. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa, the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA to enter.
Are we allowed to enter that?
Oh, dude, yes, 100%.
Oh, okay, cool. Just making sure. Just
100%.
making sure. Just making sure.
For sure, yes. Go
Yeah.
get your
Let's
entry
rig
in.
that so we can win that.
I'm trying to. All right, Edge a boot. Honestly, I mean, if you win, just invite us into the league, please. Like you have somebody in your league that is not paying attention, not doing nothing. They just kind of take up space, or they suck, and they're not any, or they make horrible trades. Boot that person out the league, invite us in the league so that we can all go to Circa and enjoy the package together. Super duper easy, right? And I mean, like, you're here listening to us, you might as well. Like, if you're an NBA gambling podcast, if an NBA gambling podcast listener, I expect a league invite. Come on, like, they will bring us Lonte. I know it. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums. Earn cashback rewards. 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. Deposit $25, and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. They just launched their new game ladders where you can win up to 500 times your entry, watching your favorite players climb the ladder. So here, all you have to do is head over there to UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code MBASGPN. We'll be dropping an underdog lineup at the end of the show, so make sure you stick around for that. But you just head over to UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MBASGPN, claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MBASGPN. All right, Latte. Game number 2. We are heading over to the Bay. Golden State Warriors are going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Series is knotted up at 1 game apiece. Crucial game 3 here. Minnesota's laying 5 on the road. 200.5 is the total. No Steph Curry in this one. He's still out with that hamstring. Looks to be out for at least this game, maybe another game after that. We'll see.
He ain't coming back.
All right. Laying 5 here with Minnesota. On the road.
I'm laying it on the road, man. I really don't know what Golden State can do. Me and Scott were talking about it earlier today. I mean, they've tried everything. He played 13 guys, like all different combinations. Like, what does he go to next? And he's going to be relying on Buddy Hield, Pods, Kuminga. Like, you're relying on those 3 guys to give you consistent contributions to take some onus off of Jimmy Butler, while also worrying about what Draymond's going to do and if he's going to contribute or if he wants to fight. Like, so you got all of that stuff like hanging in the air. Minnesota, now they played decent in game 2, but I don't think they played nearly as well as they can. I think the Gobert minutes are atrocious. They need to get rid of those minutes, especially in this series. He's been horrible. Naz Reid should play more in this. He's better on the perimeter defending wise. He stretches the floor, allows those driving lanes for Ant. I also would like to see a little bit more of Conley off the ball as well, and maybe put Julius Randle and Ant as
17 minutes
initiators.
last game.
Yeah. So I think Conley got his shot flowing a little bit. He made a few threes, but I just don't see Golden State having enough, man. I mean, Curry was like tinkering with the lineups in both games, even when Curry went out. They just I just don't understand how they have any kind of success offensively. Now, defense, they'll be fine defensively because they can defend. But at some
Mhm.
point, you got to score points, as we saw with the series with the Houston Rockets. Like, you can't go stretches without scoring. And I think Minnesota is good enough defensively to prevent them from scoring a ton, especially Jimmy. And I just don't trust those other guys, man. So I like Minnesota here. I like a low scoring game. I think both teams barely touch 90, man. I'm looking at like a 93-77 type of game. I think Minnesota is going to bury them in the next two games.
All right. So I had a different take on the game than y'all. What I saw from Steve Kerr, everybody saw madness. I saw Steve Kerr that said, "Hey man, I'm playing with house money right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm playing with house money right now. This is a house money game. I can run all of these guys out here and figure out what lineups work, what actually works against this team." And oh, lo and behold, he created the resurgence of Jonathan Kuminga in 18 points in that game. And now, what if that's something that is available to you in for the rest of this series in this predicament, at least right here? Jimmy can be unleashed back at home. Buddy Hield could have a better game back at home. Paz can have easily have a better game back at home. Let's see what they do with Trish Jackson Davis. He was going in that game. Like, I think what a lot of people saw madness, and I completely understand where you feel like you saw the madness from. But what I felt like that was somebody who was playing with house money that knew, hey, I'm already up a game on the road. I don't need to go up 2 games to none and steal both of these games here. Would it be nice if it happens? Yes, sure. But if it doesn't happen, it's perfectly fine because guess what? We can protect home court because I'm trying to figure out how we're going to maneuver this series without our best player moving forward. And so it was a bunch of tinkering. It was a bunch of adjustments. It was a bunch of, hey, this works, this doesn't, this works, this doesn't. And so now I think we're going to see that the lineup for sure shrink in this game. I think he's all right. We have our guys. It looks like this is what we're going to have to work with, and this is going to have to work for us. And now maybe the offense is able to get more fluid. However, I always thought that they were going to rely on the defense. I never thought they were going to put up 110, 115 points to win these games. I thought these would be lower scoring games that just get to the fourth quarter and keep it a close game. And that's where Jimmy Butler's going to go in there and take over and prove to everybody, hey, this is why you bring me onto a winning team like this. So uh, I actually think that the Warriors keep this game close. I think that if Minnesota does win, they're not going to get it running away like they did last time. They're going to have to battle back. They're going to have to fight. They're going to have to pry it from the Warriors' cold, dead hands. And I don't think they're going away. And I also think that Minnesota is doing exactly what you said. They're making a horrible decision by keeping Rudy Gobert on the floor, and it's tanking the team. And it's going to continue to tank the team. And it's going to make Ant continue to look worse because he's driving to the lane and he's got not only his man guarding him, but Rudy's man guarding him too because Rudy's not doing shit.
Ant can't make layups either.
Yeah, like so I honestly think the Timberwolves offense has a lot of concerns and it shouldn't, but it still does. And that's way more concerning than what the Warriors have going on for me. I like Warriors +5 here. I think they have a chance to win the game. Uh, and I'm not a believer in Minnesota right now, especially after that game. I think this is a letdown, and they look past this team because they dominated them so well. They didn't have any adjustments from the next game, and I think Steve Kerr is going to make every adjustment. So, all right. Well, total, you said you still, yeah, I like the under too.
Yeah, love
But
the under. Love
yeah,
it.
200. I
Love
don't
it.
think it's going to be a lot of points here.
Nope.
Slow pace, both teams gritty, struggle to score. Yeah, I like it. Player props, anything out there that sticks out to you?
Not you know what? Not really. I've been betting Nas Reed threes and his points just simply because I think he's going to get a ton of volume. And once you saw, whenever Rudy went to the bench, they started surging. They dropped it to 7, took Rudy
Mhm.
out, and then they automatically went on that run just because of the sheer spacing of what he provides. And I'm probably going to ladder his threes up to 4. I've been betting that, probably ladder his points up to 15. That's one of the ones that I've been betting a ton of. It's too much uncertainty. Like you said, I don't know what to expect on the side for Golden State, so I'm staying away from that side. But Nas Reed will be the guy that I target.
Um, I faded Draymond last game and it worked. Is this another Draymond fade game? I mean, historically, he is bad in the game without Steph. So you probably should be looking to Draymond unders. but he did take 10 attempts last game. So that's another thing. I think I'm on Jimmy points though for sure. Jimmy can't take 13 shots this game. He's going to be in 20. I think Kerr knows it, and Kerr's going to emphasize it. He's got to be at 20 plus points here. Whoa.
Bless you. Bless you.
Oh man, wow. Yeah, like I said, 20 plus points, easy for Jimmy Butler here. So I think 2025 is in that range. He's got to take at least 20 attempts. Not to sound like Shaq, but he can't be the star of this team. He can't be Batman and not taking 20 attempts here. They're going to need that, especially with how the offense looks. Does that get going?
I don't know, man. I just like he's got a good matchup, and he's still just I don't know. I mean, he was like this before the ankle, so I don't know if the ankle was still hurt. I don't know if it was the same ankle, but the ankle injury with LeBron, I don't know if that's kind of lingering still, and then what happened kind of just made it worse. But hey, he's 46% on layups this postseason.
Damn.
Yeah, like that's pretty bad, man.
All right. Let's talk about the props in just a second. We'll get to that with Underdog after we talk about rhythm, because rhythm is super simple and easy. Building your own model, you just take the sliders, move them over however much you would like, and boom, your model is just like that. And not too long, they will give you your rhythm model that will help you make the best AI picks, or dominate the NBA playoffs, MLB prop market, all of that. Head over to Rhythm. They also have some amazing deals going on, 25% off monthly subscription with the promo code SGPN25 and 50% off an annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. That's Rhythm, RITHMM, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm to get a 7-day free trial. And you can use that promo code SGPN25 and SGPN50. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including the NBA playoffs. They accept a ton of customers from a bunch of different locations, and you can easily deposit and use lightning fast payouts with cryptocurrency. So head over to MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Get down on the Warriors over there, or I guess if you like Timberwolves, like Lonte, get down on Timberwolves. But make sure you do it at MyBookie. Promo code SGPN, 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN. All right, Lonte, lock dog. Let's make underdog lineup. What are you doing?
Yeah, lot wise, I'm going to go with Boston Celtics -2.5 first quarter. Knicks -6 in the first quarter of this playoff series. They only led once against the Pistons in the first quarter. Now, granted, I don't think it's a huge deal for Boston to get off to a great start, but they got to get off to a good enough start to where they don't let that doubt, creep in. Because if the Knicks get off to a great start, that crowd gets going. It's Saturday in New York, like in the afternoon. It's going to be rocking. You kind of want to limit that crowd and keep them out of the game as long as you can. So I think they start off really, really well. I'll take the -2.5 in the first quarter for the Celtics. Dog wise, we're going to go same game. We're going to go Karl-Anthony Towns, 25 plus points and 12 plus rebounds. You parlay it together, you get 7-1. I think Towns has a monster game.
Dang, 7-1. Lonte, whoa.
25 and 12, man. Yep.
We didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about 7-1 dog. Jesus. Okay. Caught me off guard there. Lock. Warriors Timberwolves under 200.5.
I like that.
Dog. Give me the Warriors plus 185. I think they get it done. I think this is the textbook letdown spot in a playoff game, underestimating an opponent on the road where they don't have their star player, thinking that you're going to dominate them as you did the game before. You go on the road and realize, oh wait, this place is loud. Oh wait, they are actually using this crowd for energy. And I know I don't believe in home court in the NBA, but I think something about Chase Center is going to be there with the ghost of Steph Curry on the court, just as the whole team is raining threes. I see it. Golden State's going to win game 3, and they're going to be in a great position without Steph and to potentially hold him out another game. I'm sorry. I've seen Jimmy I've seen Jimmy take worse teams to the finals, so I just believe Jimmy can win a playoff series with this team.
Well, you think Miami's worse than this team?
Yeah, yeah, Miami teams are actually not that good. And I mean, look at Miami
Mm.
now. That's literally the. I mean, yeah, look at Miami now. Yeah, they're not. No,
Mm.
those Miami teams weren't that good. All right, it's just the ghost of Eric Spoelstra and Miami covering as a dog. I think that's what really propelled them. But and Jimmy Butler. But yeah, no, I'm sold. Jimmy's gonna get this done. Now, if they look horrible in this game, then I reserve the right to change my opinion and Benedict. But as of right now, I'm still a believer in Jimmy and this team because Jimmy's still yet to have the big game, and that's coming. I think it's actually coming in Game 3. I think Jimmy big game is coming in
Yeah,
Game
he's
3.
been kind of mid this playoffs.
Yeah, but I think this is the one. This is the one at home against Minnesota. This is the one. All right, underdog. We got 2 games to pick from, so
I think it's pretty easy, man. You like Josh Hart? I love Josh Hart. The PR.
all right.
That's one.
Josh Hart higher 20. I was at 22.5 now. I still like it, but it's up to 22.5 now.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah. I don't want to make this all Knicks thing, but I like Mikal Bridges RA. Me and Scott have been betting that since the first round, and it's been cashing like crazy.
It's crazy because like that was not a thing all year for him. He actually went under a majority part of the year, and he's really picked it up during the playoffs. I'm throwing Jimmy in there. Sorry. Well,
That's
you don't
cool.
like Jimmy. I'm not gonna make you.
No, that's cool. Jimmy. I mean, I do like Jimmy. It's just that, I mean,
No, I'm
I like the defense
I'm
of.
catching a hint of you not liking.
No, I love Jimmy. I like the defense of Minnesota more, being that they don't have to worry about literally anybody else besides stopping him. So I can just load up on him. He was barely getting shots off, like 5 shot attempts in the first half.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's why I think it's more of a game plan of like running a game plan to get him open off ball. Like,
okay, that's fair. That's fair. I can see that.
all right, Jimmy hired 22.5.
Yeah.
Air Jordan shirts over there in the Sports Gambling Podcast merch store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Promo code DGENS for 20% off. Okay. So last pick, we can go Mikal or we can go Cat because I know you really like Cat.
I'd rather go Mikal. I don't want to just
load up on
just
Cat.
Recycle. Yeah.
Loading up on Cat. All right, let's throw Mikal in there. All right, so we got Josh Hart higher, 22.5 points and rebounds. We got Jimmy Butler higher, 22.5 points. And we got Mikal Bridges higher, 8.5 points. Higher, 8.5 rebounds and assists. That is RA, rebounds and assists.
Mm-hmm.
So 6.24x. Mikal was a little bit spicy, Lonte.
I like that.
$100 gets you $624 over there at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. With that, Lonte, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. Best of luck to everybody.
All right. He is at XXLonteXX on X. And I am at Really Real underscore on X. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA, youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. Check us out, WNBA Gambling Podcast, tipping off next week for the season. With that,
16th is the start date for that?
Yep, 16th, Friday. Can't wait. What
Aces
Bart
repeat.
Scott?
Aces.
What?
Aces win the title?
Yeah, Aces are winning the title.
I agree.
That is confirmed. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Nothing else to say. Nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just nothing like